Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for taking up some time to join this webinar. Sorry for the initial glitch. It's actually you know, we have just started to use Zoho as one of our webinar platforms. So sorry for that, and thank you for your patience. So today's agenda is based on pretty much a very simple ask, but it's a very common ask right now that everyone knows about AI. It's not the future. It's the present right now. And ultimately, what is happening across all the teams, be it technical teams, be it non-technical teams, everyone is trying to figure out a way how to harness AI, how to leverage AI in a day-to-day basis and make the most out of it. But during the adoption, it's very difficult to understand hype versus reality, and it has been a challenge for the organization leaders, team leads, and individual people as well to understand how to make the most out of it, because AI can be really cost intensive, resources intensive. So you have to use it smartly to make sure that you are having some sort of positive ROI. It's not just about showing it to your higher ups. It's not about giving ops to the company and your team members and team leads that, hey, I'm working on AI, just mentioning it on resume that, hey, I use AI on a day-to-day basis. It's about real results now. There was a time when I think 2 years back that we were experimenting on different tools, but ultimately, the topic of today's discussion is about re-engineering your QA function and moving beyond the AI hype to drive release velocity and quality. So there are different things that we are going to discuss today, so that you understand what's going to be discussed in the next 40 to 45 minutes. So first of all, like I mentioned, need for re-engineering of the QA function. What is AI hype versus reality, and how to differentiate it. There are limitations, just like any other tool. There are limitations to AI as well, and why human loop or human in the loop is a must-have. AI, as of now, it's not here to replace human brains and human thinking capabilities. It is just helping us do some tasks better and faster. The next topic is how HeadSpin is harnessing AI and providing it to our customers in the form of a dedicated product, which is known as ACE. ACE stands for AI Cognitive Engine. It's the thinking part of our platform, hence the word cognitive. And just for a few minutes, Sean, our product expert, is here. He'll help us with ACE in action, a quick demo, so that you can understand whatever we are saying is pretty much practical, and we can give you a live example as well. So with your permission, I'd like to start the webinar today. So let's start with a story. Let's say there are two QA engineers, and there is one common AI tool or AI cognitive engine. QA number one is Holo. He is a traditional QA, and the other one is Hulu. He's AI-empowered QA. Now, if you look at their day-to-day activities, Holo's day-to-day activities are script-heavy, like manual efforts required, and a lot of firefighting is required on a daily basis. By firefighting, I mean that you, as in the QA experts, you know it better, that on a day-to-day basis, half of your time is spent on scripting, from scratch, and half of them is like focusing on fixing the issues, fixing the broken scripts, maintaining the broken scripts. Once there is any sort of minor change as well on the scripts. Okay, so let's assume that these two people are working on the same task, and let's discuss in the next 20 minutes how these two people carry out the same task with two different approaches, which is very much both of them are very much doable and realistic in nature. So let's say it's a Monday morning, a new sprint, and there is a new feature request. Okay, and both of them get the same Jira ticket, which says add test coverage for 3 new critical user flows, and this needs to be delivered by Friday. Now, both of them have the same Jira ticket. Both of them have 5 working days to deliver the task. Now, Holo, who is a more traditional QA, opens the spec, reads through it manually, and start writing the scripts with the help of his team members. He opens the browser DevTools, inspects the DOM elements by himself, hunts for the CSS selectors, starts building Selenium scripts line by line. He wires up assertions, wait conditions, test data. It's very painstaking. It's methodical. It's not wrong. He's very good at it. He's an expert, and he has spent almost a decade doing this work, and he's being rewarded for that. But ultimately, when it comes to effort estimations, it's like 3 to 4 days just to get the script written. So he has a very realistic mix of low complexity scripts, medium complexity scripts, high complexity scripts. But ultimately, because it's so manual and it's so resource intensive, it's taking him to deliver the scripts in 3 to 4 days, and that is even before a single test has actually run. Whereas his counterpart Hulu, who is AI aware, he opens the same spec but doesn't open DevTools. Okay, now how does that happen? This person opens HeadSpin ACE and he types simple plain English. User should be able to log in with a valid email and password. That is it. That's the input. Now, ACE, the HeadSpin ACE, it interprets the intent, it understands the user flow, and maps it to the right API calls, references the app's DOM, and generates production-ready scripts. Now, how does DOM comes into picture? We'll discuss later. But so first of all, the Appium inspector within HeadSpin helps the journey as well as the DOM file as well. Now, this is not a prototype, not a draft, but these are real executable test scripts, and then it executes it for Hulu at the same time. Now, what is the effort required from Hulu? By the end of the day, Hulu is already reviewing the first generated script, and tomorrow Hulu will be finalizing it and will be starting the runs continuously from the next day itself. So basically, Hulu is doing the work in, let's say, 1/3 or 1/4 of the time. Okay, so that is the impact of having a realistic AI solution for yourself. Now, we have to be very clear about something here that is very important, that Hulu is not doing less work. Hulu is focusing on different sort of work, and Hulu has to review every script that ACE generates, that is human in the loop. Hulu has to think about edge cases, because as we all know, even if we are talking about test case generation, I'm pretty sure most of us in the call might be using some or the other public LLM to do test case generation as well. We all know that it's very good in terms of horizontal breadth of test case generation, but when it comes to depth, such as edge cases, right now LLM does not have the technical capabilities to cover all the edge cases. I'm not saying it's limited, but it is the way it's supposed to work. Okay, it covers most of the grounds for you, let's say 80-85% of the scenarios, but the 15% is where you spend most of your time and build the more stable, more robust test cases around it. So basically, Hulu is adding context to the whole testing ecosystem that ACE cannot provide, or any AI tool cannot provide for that matter. And the difference is Hulu is not spending his brain on selector hunting. Hulu is spending it on real strategy. Okay. Now, let's talk about a month later. 4 weeks down the line, 2 sprints later, Holo's team is not doing so well. But how? I just said that this person was an expert. But what's the problem? The problem is 50% of the time, Holo was spending his time in maintaining scripts that already exist. He's not writing new ones. He's maintaining old ones because the developers have been, shipping features, shipping updates very fast. Okay, but ultimately, these minor updates, minor tweaks, these are invisible to the stakeholders. It doesn't show up as coverage. It doesn't show up as ship features. It just eats time of your QA activities and QA team members. Also, 20 to 30% of the remaining time, Holo and his team members, they are triaging false failures. Tests that fail not because the product broke, but because a button moved 3 pixels to the left. And, they end up wasting a lot of money per team, because it is being consumed by the maintenance loop. Money that should be going forward for test coverage and towards test strategy and shipping faster is being wasted or utilized for a repetitive task or something that we know that needs to be fixed. That is the maintenance loop. Okay. And if you talk about adding new test coverage, it's low or near 0% because everyone is firefighting because of the tight deadline. Now, while the backlog gets longer every sprint and the product keeps growing and new features keep shipping and complexity keeps on compounding, the traditional QA, that is Holo, is struggling to keep up with the pace. And this is not his problem. It's a structural problem that is a part of this software and testing life cycle. It is bound to happen. And as the complexity of the applications and customer expectations grow rapidly, this is bound to increase. So what is it that Holo is doing differently or better, that he's able to manage it in a better way? So first of all, Holo is clear about the AI expectations. Okay, one day, let's say Holo's manager walks into the cubicle and says that, hey, are you using AI to fix this? Okay, and Holo says yes, but ultimately, one second. Holo is. So the thing is, Holo says that yes, let's do it, and but because he's moving from a traditional approach to a more AI-driven one, he comes across 4 very common mistakes that we have found out that you can see on the screen, and unfortunately he commits them. So first of all, the mistake number 1, that everyone thinks that all AI tools are very specialized. You just have to plug it into your ecosystem, your ways of working, and it will do everything for you. Okay. So Holo expected that, hey, now that I've started using an AI tool, it will handle everything from end to end without him, being required to understand the strategy. And the problem here is 47% of enterprise users have made the same mistake, and they have fallen into the trap of AI hallucination. We all agree that AI hallucination has decreased a lot, okay, but it's still there. And we have to understand that AI is not autonomous in nature right now. It still needs a human that understands the end goal, understands the intention, and understands the business outcome of it. Now, mistake number 2 that Holo commits here is AI generated tests don't need review. Now, Holo starts running the test without reading them. He assumes that it is built on one of the most popular AI tools in the market, so it doesn't need any review. So he just extracts the script and start running it. But LLM can generate tests for features, as far as it has the context. Okay, LLM can also fabricate some assertions. And if you're talking about complex and non-standard scenarios, LLM accuracy can degrade as high as around 25%. So every AI output needs a human eye. He is not doing that. Mistake number 3, more tests generated equals better coverage. So again, it's a human tendency. We think that the higher the volume, better the results. Okay. So he ends up generating 500 tests. It must be great. But without a proper strategy, AI just creates bigger suites without improving that, something that really matters. Coverage of the things that can break in production. It's all about coverage. Okay. So there is no test coverage strategy. He's just working on volumes. Okay. And apart from this, if you're focusing only on test coverage, test volume, scripts volume, you are not actually working on positive ROI. You'll end up spending more and more tokens, more and more resources and money allotted to your company, allotted to your team, and you might end up spending more money than a traditional QA team. So you have to be very careful when you make your decisions. Now, mistake number 4, and this one is the most dangerous, that AI has replaced my need to understand the QA domain and technical expertise. No, it doesn't work like that. Again, AI is not here to replace human brains. It is there to support humans carry out tasks efficiently and in a more cost-effective way. So AI doesn't understand your business. It doesn't understand your business logic. It doesn't understand your end users yet. It needs context and it needs human validation. You have to work together. You don't have to replace your work completely. It doesn't know that a specific user flow might be a legal compliance requirement. It can just treat it like a generic user flow. Okay. It can't think like a user who is confused, frustrated, or trying something unexpected. So it is very easy. It's very common that AI might let go of some edge cases. It can take those assumptions. So domain knowledge of your business, domain knowledge of the QA world is irreplaceable. Okay. At the end of the day, AI is learning from something humans have already learned in the past centuries about all domains. Right now, it's not creating new knowledge. So AI is as good as your own judgment. Okay. So Holo's AI experiment made things worse or more complicated and repetitive for him. Not because Holo doesn't know QA, not because the AI tool was bad, but because the AI strategy behind it was wrong. Okay. And that's exactly what we are going to fix in today's session. Now, we have seen how Holo fell into the trap of AI hype without applying the human logic. Let's focus on what Hulu did right. So it was intent-based automation. So basically, Hulu defines the intent, and the AI tool, which is HeadSpin ACE, AI cognitive engine, handles the implementation. So they are working hand in hand. So Hulu writes the intent, not the code, not a selector, just a sentence that user should log in with a valid email and password. That is it. Now Hulu is thinking like a tester, thinking like a user, not a programmer. Now ACE interprets the natural language, it parses the intent, understands what action needs to happen, what is the expected outcome, and what context is needed. Hulu now also provides the app's DOM file as an additional context. So ACE isn't guessing blindly. Yes, HeadSpin has an Appium inspector. It can work independently even if you don't pass on the app's DOM file. But any additional context, it can be a PDF file which has other context. But if you talk about app's DOM file right now, it's an additional context with a high value. So as a result, ACE generates production ready scripts, and we are talking about real executable scripts and the API integrated test code, and it's not a prototype or vibe testing. It's real testing that we're talking about. Now what she does as a next step is she validates all the generated test cases, selects the target device, and she's done. So one more thing, ACE executes natively, so there is no extra tool chain required to configure. Execution is built in. So at last, Hulu is, she gets validation, performance validation with a full waterfall UI, which is our USP. And she can see clearly where things ran, where things went wrong, what happened, and why it failed. She has the root cause along with the scripts as well. And ultimately, at the end of the day, at the end of the ETA, the result speaks for themselves. Scripts are being built in hours and not in a 3 to 4 days of time frame like a traditional QA. There is less maintenance effort required because ACE is healing the scripts when the UI changes. How? You will be providing the DOM files, as well as there is Appium inspector in play. Now the automation coverage is even more better because most of the heavy lifting has been done by AI. Hulu spent a lot of time understanding the edge cases, and ultimately she was able to expand the horizon of the test coverage. Okay. So Hulu's take is very honest and very practical. AI tool or HeadSpin ACE here is the partner and not the replacement of a QA. Okay, and ultimately Hulu is aware what AI can do and AI can't do, and this is what makes Hulu's outcome much more robust, much more feasible. And Hulu knows the limits. Hulu knows how to work with them, not around them. And let's discuss where AI falls short. So even on the hardest benchmarks, the best AI models have a hallucination rate of around 5%. Now these outputs can be subtly or not so subtly wrong. So in a test suite, that could mean tests that pass when they shouldn't, or tests that fail for the wrong reason. Every output needs some review, and that is human in the loop. If you're talking about any complex algorithmic or non-standard business logic scenarios or the edge cases, LLM accuracy can degrade by 25%. The more unique your application's behavior, the more important the human reviewer becomes. Now, AI has zero ability to do exploratory testing. It can execute what you define. And again, you have limited context window, And again, whatever you provide, it will act on it, but it will not explore. And a great QA engineer thinks like a suspicious user, poking at edge cases, trying unexpected paths, wondering what happens if someone does something weird. So instead of focusing on the standard user flow, standard test cases, or let's say for 80% of the sprints that is allotted for the task, uh, Hulu winds up the task in 2 days and spends rest of the sprint working on these edge cases in a more patient and more calm way, so that the outcome is more robust and Hulu is able to cover all grounds. Okay, so the strategy part is more robust and the implementation is even better. And it's not only because of HeadSpin ACE, it is because of how this person is using ACE. Okay, and ultimately the accountability is within the human logic, and we are using AI as a partner, as our own employee, and Hulu is ultimately signing off the work that AI has done, and she is making the decisions, she is making the calls. Our philosophy is very simple, that the goal isn't to automate everything, make it autonomous. It is to automate the right things intelligently and practically. Okay. Now let's talk about what exactly is HeadSpin ACE. So we started talking about AI, long back, much before our contemporaries in the market were doing, and we have implemented it time and again, all our performance metrics, those have some or the other form of AI implementation in place. So we have been there, and we have been commoditizing AI from a long time. So AI is nothing new to HeadSpin. What's new is after spending a lot of time in understanding our customers' feedback, our pre-sales feedback, our product experts' feedback, and we have come up with a very dedicated and a very practical approach towards AI. And the first step, the most logical step, and I think you all will agree, is that we must harness LLM within our UI to generate and maintain scripts. Okay, and this is just the beginning. So ACE isn't here just to do script generation and maintenance. It will expand into a full suite of AI capabilities via agentic testing as well. Okay, so there are 3 pillars to it right now. So intent-based generation, like we just discussed, you write natural language as a prompt. ACE translates into production scripts. It uses Appium Inspector, which is built into our platform. And additionally, if you provide the DOM file, it will have much more context about your application. So basically, it's not guessing about the user flow. It's actually thinking and acting like a real user. It's reading your UI. Okay, there is no selector hunting. There are no manual waits. Okay, and the scripts are pretty much downloadable. You own them. You can keep it within your local repository, and you can run them anywhere and endlessly. The pillar 2 is the healing of scripts. So right now the script healing is happening on the script generation part. We are working on creating a way to heal the scripts during execution as well. So it will make your life much more easier. But let's talk about what's happening right now. Okay, so whenever your UI is changing, any component update, any class rename, a layout shift, ACE can detect it based on Appium Inspector and the DOM file. And ultimately, your script doesn't break. ACE updates your scripts, and it also maintains fallback locators so that even when one locator fails, execution can continue. Pillar 3 is intelligent execution. native API integrated execution. There are no need of an extra tool chain to stitch it together. And when something fails, ACE will definitely give you a waterfall UI that, and by failure I mean not the script failure, but if there is any bottleneck in your application, it will give you a waterfall UI that shows exactly what happened, what's the problem with the performance or the functional aspects of it, which is the final outcome that you want from a test run. And you can do your root cause analysis. Whatever time you have saved leveraging HeadSpin ACE, you can spend time again in the RCA part of it. Okay. Now on the left hand side, you can see that what is live today, and what is on the right hand side, it's what is coming soon. So right now there is natural language test case generation, test script generation. Again, prompt-based script generation, that's the core of it. API integrated execution, native run, no extra tool chain. Self-healing of the scripts, adapts on UI changes during script generation. Multiple framework support. We are supporting Appium and Selenium right now. And there is cross-platform coverage. You can build scripts for web browsers, for mobile browsers, as well as mobile applications as well. Now, here's the exciting part, what's in active development. Now we have a full-fledged, around 1 to 2 years long dedicated roadmap for the AI tools, but I'd like to highlight some key of them. So first of all, we are rolling out more framework and language support, such as Playwright, which is becoming extremely popular in the web app testing world, as we all know. Then Maestro support, Java and JavaScript support. Okay. Then journey updates during execution. So for example, if your test hits an expected state mid-run, ACE can adapt the journey on the fly. Okay. Scripts with multiple locators. So imagine if your tests self-heal during test execution and not just during generation, which we are doing right now. It makes your life much more easier. It reduces the maintenance overload by more than 50 to 60%. And one more thing is there, that is kind of a no-code script generation. Basically, you click on elements directly on your device. You are doing your you are creating your user flow manually once to define the test path. There is no text input needed, not even a prompt. And ACE understands all the context. It understands the whole user journey by the virtue of whatever action you have performed, whatever user flow you have done, and it provides you with a full-fledged executable script. And then multiple file support. Just like you are able to upload DOM file into the system, ACE will be able to extract the test context directly from the product requirement documents, the PRDs, the Word documents, if there is any other document, any Excel sheet, any Jira tickets. You just have to give the intent, and ACE will extract all the information and give you better and more robust scripts at the moment. So we are moving very fast, but in a practical way. We are not shipping dozens and 20s, 30s agents that add little value. We are approaching it with a very practical approach. Whatever needs, let's say, simple automation, we are focusing on that. Wherever we need AI with a positive ROI, with a practical ROI, we are focusing on that. So we'll keep you posted about that. Now we have 20 minutes left exactly for the demo. So I'd like to hand it over to Sean for the demo part. Sean, over to you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Just give me a minute. I'll just be sharing my screen. So, Siddharth, if you can just let me know if my screen is reflecting. Hope my screen is reflecting right now. Yes. Yeah. So, team, as Siddharth had mentioned, right, we don't have this platform or this particular feature being implemented as a complete takeover, AI takeover. We are focused on implementing AI as an enabler to the automation engineers, right? So the time duration which we spend on having the scripts being developed is drastically minimized based out of this particular feature which has been implemented as a part of the platform itself, right? So I'm not going to talk more about all the things that Siddharth had mentioned earlier. I'm just going to walk you through the platform with all the key features which we had discussed earlier. So I am pretty much sure that you would be aware of how the UI looks like, right? So here on the top right corner, we've got the HS ACE, the cognitive engine. So we've kept it very simple here. If I just click on this button here, I would be able to go ahead and have my automation script generation being done, right? Before I start off with creating the automation script, let me just explain what are the things which are a part of this particular slider, right? So we have got the token system which has been implemented. So generally, when it comes to having any AI model being utilized, we determine the usage of that particular model based on the token system, right? So we provide you with tokens which you can procure based on your requirements, and the script generation happens based on the token utilization as well. So if you notice, you can request for more tokens based on your requirements, so that can completely be customized by your organization's needs as well, right? So here again, there are two more features. One is going to be the hamburger icon, where you can go about previewing or reviewing the previous set of prompts which were provided to the particular system as well, right? So I'm just going to skip through it. You can search over there and find out older prompts. All of those things can be done. So to get started, right, I can just click on this button, and here we have the flexibility to go ahead and select the application which has already been uploaded into the particular platform itself. So all the applications which are a part of this platform would be reflecting here, and the user can just go ahead and select the particular platform. If not, he can just go ahead and have the application be already being installed, and he can directly utilize the application just by providing the app package and app activity as well. So I'm just going to skip through with this part. So as Siddharth had mentioned, right, we've got three different things which are a part before we go ahead and prompt what needs to be converted into an automation script, right? So if you notice, we have the specific section to have your prompts being provided. The entire prompting happens in such a way that how defined you give the prompt is how defined the output would be, right? So you should, the best part is you don't have to structure it a lot to provide the prompt. You give a prompt which is understandable by the LLM model, and we do have the complete flexibility to have the steps being altered as well. So I will talk about that once we move on. For now, I'm just gonna paste the prompt here. So I can just click over here and paste the prompt. So it's just a fairly simple prompt where I'll just be launching the YouTube app, preferably search for a specific content creator and play his or her first video as well, right? So the devil is the details, as we mentioned, right? So the more defined you give it, the more better the output is gonna be, right? And here, if you notice, we've got another option here for your retries. So the reason why we've given you this is, let's just say that while the execution is happening by the engine, right, there might be some kind of a network lag, or there might be some kind of a delay in the application being loaded, not from our end, but it might be the application's problem itself. So in that case, the elements wouldn't have been loaded on the screen, and the system would try to interact with it. So if that happens at the initial try itself, the system would fail and you would not be able to continue with the execution. That's the reason why we've specifically gone about and designed this particular retry attempts, wherein the user can select the number of retries. So I'm just going to select 2 retries here, so that by the time the particular page is loaded or the particular element is visible, the interaction is done. If not, it would wait and then retry it again as well, right? And as Siddharth had mentioned, we give you the flexibility of DOM file for now. It can be your XML file or your DOM file. Moving further, we would be providing you with the Jira stories or user stories based on your requirement documents. You can just go ahead and upload the file, and that system would be able to understand the file which has been uploaded as well, right? So for now, I'm just going to click on next. So once I've clicked on next, here is where the complete flexibility of the model or the particular system can be understood by the user, right? So once I click on next, the steps would be generated, and these steps are fairly simple. So if you notice, these are the steps which I've created, and I can just go ahead and have the steps being added or removed as well, right? So I can just go ahead and remove some of these steps. I'll just delete some steps if I want to. I can delete it. I can add the steps as well. For now, I'm just going to delete all the wait statements, which would take some time to have being implemented. So I'm just going to wait, remove the wait statements, and even assertions can also be put up as well, right? So this is how the steps can be altered. You have the complete flexibility to add a step as well and move the steps around as well. So that kind of flexibility is also provided here in the platform, right? And we give you the JSON format of the steps which is created, so you can go ahead and have this also being utilized elsewhere. And for now, I'm just going to click on next. So once I've clicked on next, we've got three different options from where we can go ahead and run this particular automation script. I can have it being run on an Android device or an iOS device or even a specific browser as well. So since it's a specific Android based script, right, I'm just going to run it on an Android device. So I'm just going to select the device ID, copy it, search for it here. And these devices, nothing but devices which are a part of the same pool as well. So once the select device is selected, I can just click on generate script, based on which the particular script would be generated. Let me just remove this. Yeah. The reason why there's a small delay in this is because we are in the sandbox environment and we are utilizing a shared pool of devices, right? So initially what is happening here is it is trying to identify if the particular device is available to run this particular script. So once the device is being identified as available, then the device gets launched and all the processes or the steps which we had defined prior to this would be executed as well. So we will have a look at the device tray. So we'll just wait for the device to be spun up automatically. And once the device is spun up, it would be reflecting here in the device tray and I can have a look at the live execution. The best part about this platform here is, team, that we give you the option to have your live execution to happen on the system itself, right? We can just go ahead and have automation scripts which have been derived from ChatGPT or any other model. But what happens there is it would just give you the code. But here, if you look at, we give you the execution as well, right? So I guess there was a small issue. I'll just go ahead and do it again. So I'll just give 2 retries. So as I was mentioning, right, the best part about the platform is we give you an option to have your live execution, which is being witnessed in the platform itself. So it would not just give you the code, it would also give you the live example of how things would work. So right now I am just gonna remove all the wait statements so that the execution happens faster. Yeah. Click on next. I will just select the Android device. And generate the script. Yeah. So once the generation of the script is done, right, as Siddharth had mentioned, we would be allocated with a specific waterfall UI wherein you can have a look at how the executions happened as well, right? So but by the meantime this happens, we would I'll just give you a glimpse of how the waterfall report would look like post the execution. So this is how the waterfall report would look like, wherein I had ran the same prompt, similar prompt earlier. So it was just for the YouTube application. So if you notice, the entire session gets recorded. So the entire automation is run So the script generation is also done automatically, and the execution is also happening automatically over here as well. And you have the KPIs also being mentioned over here. It's similar to how you would handle automation when it comes to having your framework being integrated with the platform. In a similar way, the entire interaction is being done by the system itself. The reason why we record this entire report or the specific waterfall model is so that you can have a look at how the AI model is performed. Is this that the engine, as an engineer, you would have just given the prompt and you've just gone somewhere else, right? So you want to, you cannot always be sitting in front of the laptop to have the live execution being monitored. So you can have the reliance on the platform such that the platform itself would go ahead and record the entire session, and you can just come back and view it once. And if you feel like everything is right, you can just download the Python file as well, right? So let's just look at this. The execution is happening. So let me just have a look at it. So the execution is happening here. So it is moved to the YouTube application, and it is going to go ahead and have the execution happening as well. So after every step, you would be able to see that there's a tick mark which populates, indicating that that step has been done. And yeah, let's just wait for the execution to continue. And meanwhile, the execution is happening. Just to give you a glimpse of how the specific automation script would be, right? I will just take you to the IDE. So currently we do provide you with the specific Python file. So we give you the Python main file, wherein or you can just utilize this particular file where all your necessary capabilities related to the platform and everything would be populated here. And you just have to run this particular main file, which would just integrate with the platform and have your executions being done in the platform itself. So this is how simple we've kept the entire process in the platform, and you can just go ahead and download it and integrate it with your specific framework setup as well. So currently in this version, we are supporting Python. Moving down the lane, as Siddharth mentioned, right, we are going to support more frameworks, and we're going to support more specific set of languages as well. Right. So preferably the organizations would vary based on their languages they prefer, right? So we are planning of having everything being incorporated in the same platform itself. So as I mentioned at the start, we want the platform to utilize this AI capability as an enabler to the automation engineer, not rather than an AI run system, right? Completely AI run system. We would prefer to have a person in place to have things being validated prior to being executed as well. So this is about the platform. So if you notice, the steps are getting executed. So this is about the platform itself on a very high level. So I would just pause the presentation and hand it over back to Siddharth as well. So over to you, Siddharth.
So thank you so much, Sean, for the wonderful demo. And I see that there is one raised hand by Shalini. Sorry, it was raised 51 minutes ago. Are there any questions, Shalini, or are there any other questions from anyone else? We'd like to answer those. Okay, so yeah, I got a few questions here. So, is ACE only for mobile testing? No, just like we mentioned that ACE is pretty much for web browser, desktop browsers, mobile browsers, as well as the native app testing as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Does ACE work with our existing testing infrastructure? So first of all, if you're an existing HeadSpin user, then yes, you can. I think if your platform is up to date, you can just simply click on HeadSpin ACE, raise a request, or you can reach out to our teams, the sales team, the pre-sales team. We can even give you a free trial, and you can get going. So right now it's in beta phase for all our customers, and even if you want a trial, we can do that for you. But the ultimate thing is that you need to be a HeadSpin subscriber to try it out at the moment. Rest all, it remains the same. If you want Appium Selenium scripts, you can go for it. It's very easy. We can get it enabled for you in a day. Not even a day, like a couple of hours. What languages are supported by ACE? So right now we are providing Python based scripts, because that was the ask from majority of our key customers. However, we have we have plans to roll it out in terms of Java and JavaScript as well, just like we mentioned in the presentation. Then could you please share web-based use cases? So do you want a demo web-based use case, or this is from Deen Dayal and Sundar Murthy. So do you want a demo, dedicated demo for web testing? Yes, no? If you want
with yes.
Sorry?
He replied with yes.
Okay, you want a demo, dedicated demo. Is it possible to share your email ID over to Apurva by any chance? We can quickly schedule a 15 minutes demo with Sean, because we have a hard stop at 16:30 for everyone. We are extremely interested in giving a dedicated demo for you. In fact, if you can give us more context, we can have a contextualized demo as well for you. Does that work for you?
I already have his email ID, so yeah, we can reach out to him.
Okay, sure, we can do that. Which framework ACE uses? Browser Stack, Playwright already have this functionality in place. Yes, so Playwright and all, it's supported by us as well, HeadSpin. We are supporting Playwright framework, while ACE support for Playwright is WIP. It will be there in a couple of months' time at max. So we started with Appium and Selenium just because still, even if Playwright is getting the most traction right now, Appium Selenium has the widest majority of user base. So you are right, Playwright should be there, and it is WIP as we speak. Shouldn't be a problem. But if you're talking about platform-wide support, yes, we do support Playwright. So we are doing that. And yes, demo. Is it possible to develop AI system for solar EPC QC work, like system documentation and training? Interesting. So Mr. Nagaraj, I would like to discuss this use case in detail. Is it possible if you can share your detailed use case over an email, and we can discuss about it? Is it possible? Okay, cool. Can you give more context about auto healing? So right now, Arpita, what is happening is the healing of scripts is happening when you generate the scripts. Okay, that is phase 1 of the healing journey that we have rolled out as a part of the beta program. So, for example, there is any change in the UI or your application, what will happen is you can go to the hamburger menu. You can give the same prompt again and run the same prompt, and within minutes the HeadSpin ACE can give you the updated scripts which you can run seamlessly again. And there is Appium Inspector built in which detects these elements and if you provide DOM file as well, it will help us more provide you the updated script. But even if you skip that, it's pretty much easy and straightforward for application to do that. So basically you are rerunning the prompt using the historical context from the hamburger menu. The next phase, which is rolling out in the following quarter, like the current quarter, end of this quarter, it will move towards healing during execution as well. Okay, so during execution, if ACE detects that there was some change into the UI or your application, it will basically use the same context, but updated during execution. Also, as a third phase, which is again H2 of this year, the second half of this year, we are building a self-healing agent as well, which will further reduce your manual overload. So we are building an agent on top of it on these two. How is this number less maintenance using auto healing working? Okay, how is this number 50-60% less maintenance using auto healing working for you? Counted calculator. So Ashutosh, very great question. So just like I mentioned that, and it's not a random number at all. So just like you might be aware, HeadSpin has a dedicated professional services team. We have experts in all the frameworks, all the key languages, and those were our first users. Okay, that was the task that our CEO gave to us. So we initially started with the ACE ideation in early 2024, and it was a condition that was given to us that unless our own people approve it, you won't be able to release it into the market. Okay, now these people have been serving the one of the biggest enterprises in the world. I won't be able to name it right now, but yeah. So ultimately they used it, and they created a framework. We helped them with it, and we identified multiple user journeys across various industries. It is like media, telco, e-commerce, banking and finance, and other digital natives. So there were 5 categories, and there were 3 tiers of complexity of scripts. Okay, so what we did was we considered 50% high complexity scripts, we considered 30% medium and 20% easy. Now based on that, we created various scenarios, and ultimately they ran it on ACE. And we actually, for if you talk about simple scripts, easy scripts and medium scripts, the reduction in manual efforts was even higher than 85%. But if you considered complex scripts, and we also took some conservative approach as well. So based on that number came to be around actually 67%. Now, even on top of that, I'm reducing it even further and saying that it is 50 to 60%. Okay, that is because I also, just like I said that you should have a realistic expectation about AI. So we are also setting up a conservative and realistic expectations with our customers. And ultimately, it depends on how well we start using the prompt and start defining the AI strategy at our own. So basically, this number will keep on evolving as you, us as well as you, the users, keep on evolving your AI strategy and maturity. So yeah, it's a evidence-based number. It's not based on a public report or a guesswork. In fact, we can have a demo session. We can bring in our professional services folks who tried it out. We can do it. With this inbuilt Appium inspector, how RAM costly is ACE? Are we talking about RAM as in the computer RAM, or is it something else? So Appium Inspector is free of cost. First of all, it's a default feature of HeadSpin. Even if you don't use ACE, Appium Inspector is still available to you if you are a HeadSpin user. So can ACE integrate with Jenkins, Azure, DevOps? Not at the moment, but again, it's in the roadmap for sure. If there is a high value driver for you and our customers, we'll definitely increase the priority of the same. But yeah, just like we said, we want to provide more and more context to the ACE ecosystem. This is one of our key drivers for the future. Script can created if we put video of some issues. Right now, video as an input is not being worked upon, but we are ideating it. Because right now it's the usage is based on tokens and all. So we don't want that you end up spending a lot of tokens for that. We are trying to come up with a more cost-effective way. We'll make it more and more cheaper. Although it's not costly at all. It's the most cheapest AI tool that you'll see in the QA market. We are creating a more cost-effective and more secure things to for that as well. But yeah, it's there on our roadmap. Script can be created if you put video of some issues. So yeah, won't it work like if you run the user journey on ACE manually and it creates the user the test script for you? Isn't that the same thing, or you want something else completely? If you can mention it here or maybe discuss it with us. Your voice is not audible. Is that so? Apurva, are you able to hear me?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Deandayalan, I think that might be an issue with your internet, maybe. Kanika, I would like to hear it from you. The same thing. Okay, yeah. So if you're talking about running your user flow by yourself manually, basically a kind of a record and playback thing, we are doing it in this quarter. So we are building it on top of our existing ACE platform. You will be able to do the user flow yourself, and it will take it as an input and create an executable script for you. So again, output will remain the same. You just won't have to focus on defining prompts and all. Does healing support workflow changes? Yes, it does, because we are doing healing during generation right now. So if the complete user flow is changing, I would recommend you update the prompt as well to because if you're having a completely different user flow, and if you're giving the same prompt, there might be some sort of a problem with the script, the outcome. So in my opinion, I would say that if there is a complete change, a major change, I would say updating the prompt. But when we are building, when we'll be building the agent of on top of these two use cases, that is healing during generation and healing during execution, we are thinking of that as well as an edge case in terms of complete workflow changes. Again, if you want to try it out, reach out to us. We can help you with some sort of a trial, beta trial. If you are our user, it's even more easier. We can get that going within a couple of hours. We can conclude the session if there are no more questions. I think this was one of the most interactive webinar we have had in past couple of quarters. So thank you so much everyone for joining, and thank you for keeping it so interactive. There were some great ideas that were shared, so yeah, happy to work on it. Feel free to reach out for demo, trials, beta versions, even for discussing any feature requests. We are happy to work on it. We are the product management team. The more suggestions we get, it's better for me, for my job, for my team. So yeah, thank you so much.